Sunday game at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Real Salt Lake coming into town for what is a big game for both teams. RSL just above the line in the Western Conference, Red Bull just below the line in the Eastern Conference. Dave, appreciate you coming on, giving us a couple of minutes. Tell me a little bit about where this Real Salt Lake team stands post Leagues Cup going into now what we would say the stretch run of the MLS season.
It was a good but not great Leagues Cup. Like the Red Bulls, they took 6 points. As they typically do, they left points on the field. They led Club America with a strong contingent. I mean, there were at least 10,000. The stadium was at least half full with Club America fans. There's probably 7 or 8,000 in yellow, but then when Club America scored a goal, you're like, oh, not everybody here is wearing yellow. There's a lot of fans here. And they're up 2-1, and they gave up a goal right at the end. A 20-year-old sub didn't track a guy on a run, and sure enough, the mistake got punished. Um, good but not great. I think that it'll be interesting to see in this game because they've brought in two strikers. Um, I don't know that you'll see both. I think Ron Cruz will play. I don't know if he'll start. He may just come off the bench. His first appearance was Wednesday night in the third and final game in Leagues Cup. I don't think they'll start him yet, but Pablo, like a lot of people, Pablo Mastroeni holds those decisions close to the vest. And so I wonder what it does to players' confidence. I don't know if the team will find it energizing. Hey, these guys are going to finish the chances we haven't been finishing. Or if some guys are going to find that, playing a little tight, thinking, hey, my job could be up for grabs here. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. May was terrible. They did not win a game in May. But in June and July, they've only been beaten once. Cincinnati came in and won 1-0. They're 6-1-3 in the last 10. They did lose on penalties to Atletico de San Luis. But they haven't been beaten in 90 minutes with that one exception in the last 2 months. So
Talk to me a little bit more about maybe the goal scoring issues. You look, the number that pops off is 26 goals for through their games in the regular season. That's towards the bottom part of the
yep.
Western Conference and the league overall. Has it been chances created not there, or has it been chances created not finishing more of the issue?
A lot of times the answer to this is the not satisfying. Well, it's a little bit of everything. In this case, the answer is a very satisfying. There are tons of chances being created. They are not being finished. There have been quality chances that just have not been put away. There are guys who have a great opportunity. They got the keeper at their mercy. Like, pick a side, you're going to score, and they shoot down the middle third of the goal, which is, the only thing that's going to save a keeper who's hung out to dry. There have been point blank shots that have gone over the bar, that have gone just wide. It's been poor touches that failed them when they should have scored. It's just been one thing after another. So they create a lot of chances. They're very good until they get into the final 25, 20, 18 yards inside the box. For a long time, the problem was they didn't get enough numbers in the box. And they've really coached that up. They've trained that, and you're seeing a lot more guys getting forward. If you see the goal they scored in their last Leagues Cup game, a 1-0 win, Brian Ojeda, defensive midfielder pivot, who used to be 35 yards from the goal, finds himself getting a ball inside the 18, and he bent one in, upper corner, clean out the cobwebs, upper 90, all that stuff. Give me your favorite cliche. It was a beautiful goal, but he would have not been in position to take that shot 60 days ago. No way.
Top five, though, in goals given up. Defensively, no big surprise when you look at the coaching staff and the pedigree. Coaching staff wise, defensive wise, things have been pretty tight, right, during the course of this regular season.
They have been, and that goes to Pablo Mastroeni's mentality, which was created during his playing career. He started Colorado. He was a captain. They won an MLS Cup. He played in 2 World Cups under Bruce Arena, so he knows what he wants defensively. He played in that defensive midfield spot as a pivot, and he knows what he wants the back line to do behind him. He knows how he wants the strikers in front of him to defend and to trigger the press. So he's really clear cut in terms of what he wants. And the guys who don't defend, they just don't last very long. They don't last on the starting 11 very long, and they don't last on the roster very long. And one thing you'll notice, Diego Luna, who leads the team with 8 goals and 4 assists in MLS play, he'll defend. He will defend all day long. You'll see him triggering the press. You'll see him making long recovery runs. You'll see him back pressing. And Xavier Gozo, if he maintains his spot in the lineup, it'll be because of his defense. He's only scored a couple of goals. and he can get in behind, but he's been one of the culprits who, has had opportunities and hasn't been able to finish at times. And so, but he does defend. And Pablo, in very colorful language, will tell you how hard Xavier goes to defense. He really appreciates that out of the teenager. He's not easily impressed with teenagers. They got to earn it.
David, finish with this one if you can. Tell me a little bit more about Luna. Obviously, he's on the radar screen for everybody now because of his play, impressive play for the U.S. men's national team. His mindset for this Real Salt Lake team, has he taken the step forward, not just being a talented player, but even more of a leader, even at his young age?
We're starting to see a little bit of that. He has a very relentless mindset. So I think his leadership has been more by example than by voice, but I think he's finding a voice. I think that's a process. And I think the reason he is so relentless is that he has been told he failed and he hasn't been willing to accept it. He was in San Jose's academy. They signed Cade Cowell. They didn't sign him. I don't know why they didn't sign both of them. So as a teenager, as a high school age kid, he moved to El Paso and played in the USL. And that went well. And RSL saw it and brought him in. And he's carved out a larger and larger role here. And just when you think, well, maybe he thinks, okay, now I've made it, that's payback. Last summer, he did not get selected for the U.S. Olympic team. And that hit hard. And he came back and was relentless after that. And what we saw at the start of the season was a relentless guy. He got called in for the U.S. men's national team, and he wanted to play in the Gold Cup, and he was just fierce, and it drove him. And I think right now he's driven because he wants to play in the World Cup because not making that Olympic team still really irritates him.
David, appreciate you coming on, giving me a couple minutes. You've got the radio call on the RSL side. We'll have it on the Red Bull Radio Network for you as well. Best of luck on Sunday. Should be fun with these teams get together. I think it proves to be an important 3 points for both. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
You're welcome.